Alright guys, so I want to film this Sephora recommendations video as quickly as possible. I can hear construction in the background again, so hopefully we can get through this. Now, I'm gonna cover mostly things that were probably released in the past 2-3 months, and then other things might be more so from this year, only because I have a Sephora Pinterest board that has everything that I would recommend to you, i.e. hair care, skincare, makeup, everything. So the board is actually a group of boards. So there's a board specifically for products I'm considering, which I tend to update around sale time. Like we would all look at stuff that we're interested in, right? And then everything else has its own board: foundation, concealer, eyeshadow, lip products, everything. So I'm gonna cover only newer items. We just get the eyeshadow palettes out of the way because obviously easier. So the Natasha Denona bronze palette, I would only recommend this to you if you like coppers and oranges, because while I don't think that there's necessarily an exact bronze shade, I feel like all of her bronze tones tend to lean way warm, so you need to like that. I have it on my eyes today. So I have the shades Magma, Suntan, and Rhodium. Rhodium is a slight duochrome, but it's darker, so it actually shows up better on my eyes. I feel like very light duochromes all look the same on me because I can't get any dimension, because there's just not enough like dimension in my actual eye to offset the darker versus lighter parts. But I love the look I did today. When I first purchased this, for a week I just used it, and primarily to use like these two shades. They're just so pretty. This is a newer release from Pat McGrath. You guys have seen this already. I've already talked about it, but the Celestial Divinity, is that the name of it? Yes. Mothership Mega. This is a palette that you cannot use as a standalone. I think if you're just like a daily, normal, average makeup wearer, if you need something in the crease that is more natural of a shade and you want more mattes, I have no problem doing an all shimmery eye. But if you are not someone like that, this might not serve your purposes. This is a supplemental palette that is extremely beautiful. It has extremely beautiful dimension in all the shades. So you only have, I think, 3 mattes. This one, and this one. And they are all very warm. I, in fact, think that you could probably create a very similar eye to the one I have on with this palette as well. I love this so much. I remember seeing it online. I was like, but when you get it in person, you feel like lottery. Pat McGrath also released, I believe, 2 Mothership palettes this year, maybe more. So one of them was the Divine Rose, which everyone went crazy over. I did not purchase it, but it was good because then I was able to purchase limited edition packaging for that one, as well as whatever this one is called. I remember. Divine Rose 2. Anyway, this is a more neutral offering. I think this shade is the most cool, but everything else I feel leans very, very cool to, I don't know how to say this. I think if you wanted to create a warm eye, you could. You absolutely could just create a warm eye using just this shade and maybe that shade, but everything else is neutral and then to slightly cool. I wouldn't call it a completely cool toned palette. My preference is, of course, for the Divine Rose 2, which is when I actually placed my order. And it was exciting, of course, because she had this like trichrome, which you can see is going to change as I change the lighting. This one right here. I did not get to use this as much as I wanted to because I feel like I wasn't in an eyeshadow state of mind when I purchased this. Did I even share this with you guys? I don't even think so. So I'm happy to have it. I have to like revisit and play with it. She also released a trio of quads and I have them all here. So this one is called Interstellar Icon. And I like this one. I've used this shade. This is a Blue Blood, which is one of my favorite shades from her. It was, I believe, in the Decadence palette. And then she released them in those like little mini clear container palette things that were like, okay. And then this is just a pretty shimmery shade. So I like this one a lot. Called Risque Rose. This is probably one of the most popular ones I think that she released. Whatever is happening down here is so insanely beautiful. It looks very cool tone, but there's like a lot of like depth to it. So when there's like a more pastel or cool leaning shade, if there's a depth, then it's usable for me. And everything else is just kind of like, I was gonna say run of the mill, but run of the mill for Pat McGrath is still amazing. So this one I'm also enjoying. This is the one I've had in my collection the longest, and it is it Interstellar? Oh my god, this doesn't have a name on it. I'll list it below. I'll put like favorite next to it or something. This one is still in production and still on sale, and it was released in like last year. I use this palette a lot. It's her special baked formula. I just love every single shade in here. You will obviously create an all shimmery eye, but it is absolute love. Like, I obviously prefer this one to the other three I've just picked up because I've had this one longer and I know that I reach for it. Marc Jacobs released this palette called Extravagance. I really love it. And there's a corresponding eyeliner that also came out, or like corresponding eyeliners. I just really like it. This color story is just very me. If you like olive and gold, then you will like this. It has olive gold, purple tones. If you like gem tones, this is you. You don't have the blue and the red in here, which would make it more of like a royal type palette. This is absolute love. I feel like when this was released, it was also perhaps released during more serious lockdown times. I feel like a lot of brands, if they released around March to August, it was unfortunate because the fan base, I mean, forget all makeup shoppers, even people who are fans of certain brands were like, I don't know if I could do this for you right now, you know, like it's difficult. I also love this NARS Extreme Effects palette. So the packaging, very fun. I always have a really hard time opening his palettes, and why? So this is a color palette that I thoroughly enjoy. I've talked about this before. Again, you could probably create, no, you couldn't do this eye because you wouldn't be able to get that kind of bluish purple, but you could do a similar eye with this shade. It's a orangey red that flashes gold. So if you wanted to do that instead of a purple, you could definitely do this eye. I love his mattes. The mattes are the 4 in the center, and then you have anything from a shimmer to a metallic on the periphery. This is kind of a softer formula. You can actually press your finger into it, this black one. It's like a very cream to powder type situation. Love. Okay, we're gonna get Charlotte Tilbury. So of course the one she released this year is amazing. I would highly recommend this to you if you like these colors. Her formula here is just amazing. Creamy, 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 blendable, like so good. When you swatch these, you're gonna be like in love. The Instant Eye Palette in Pillow Talk is also available. So if you like these tones better, let's compare. This is hard to do. Okay, so the newest one is on the bottom and Pillow Talk is on top. Pillow Talk is, again, more pink. So it really depends on your preferences. I think you can definitely do more with this one. She also released a monochromatic collection, and I love all of them. I picked up every one but the blue one, surprisingly. So this one is called Mesmerizing Maroon, and this is the corresponding eyeliner. So she had these as doubles, which I love. I actually prefer getting this kind of eyeliner because actually I shouldn't say that. I can go through eyeliners, but there's a matte shade and a metallic shade, and I had never previously really enjoyed her pencil formula, but when she released these, I really, really like these. This one is called the Rebel, and it's more bronze and green tones. This one has the most dimension, I think, and then this is the corresponding eyeliner. Love it, love them both. This is my most used one, obviously. Okay, lastly is Copper Charge, and this is the corresponding eyeliner. I would say the darker shades for the maroon and the copper, you could probably get either one. They're kind of similar, like subtle changes. I think on the eye, especially on my eye, which is smaller, I don't think you would see a huge difference. Also gonna show you guys Copper Charge and Desert Haze next to each other. So in case you're like, I'm not really sure, they're similar, but not super similar. And I showed this to you too. It's the Palette of Pops. This is the most recent one. I think I only have one other Palette of Pops in my collection because up until this year, Queen of Glow is the other one I have, and I think that was released last year. So prior to that, the Palette Pops were a very light, it was like sprinkling of glitter. It was a topper. These have pigment, so these you can wear alone without layering something underneath. Okay, very quickly, Marc Jacobs, when he released that Extravagance eyeshadow palette, he also released so many eyeliners to go with it. This is one of them. I picked up a green one, shocking, but there was other shades I wanted. I wanted almost all of them, but this is the worst spot to swatch. Why did I just do that? It's also like the driest skin imaginable. There we go. So pretty. It's like a deepened olive. It has more of a brown undertone. Oh, that swatch was so disgraceful and irresponsible. Okay, so this Estee Lauder Futurist Hydro Rescue, it's what I have on today. I have mine in the shade Sand. This is not my perfect match, but it matches pretty well. It's an olive undertone, but it's a subtle olive undertone, so it's not super obvious. But this is an excellent winter foundation. It's very moisturizing and moisturizing looking, so I am enjoying that. More complexion items. I never really talked about this, maybe only in passing, but the Tatcha Liquid Silk Canvas. This is what I can wear for no makeup. Like if I put this on my face, like not right now because maskne concerns, like I won't get you real close. Do you see this? I don't know what's going on there. It's like where the mask hits me. And I have it very subtly on this side. It's like actually not obvious at all. But then like down here, do you see that? There's like a constellation happening here that you can't see that well, but if I don't have a little bit of a tint on or a little bit of foundation on, I can't go no makeup right now. But when my skin was good, I could do this alone and then conceal the under eyes and around the nose, and oh, this is blurring and this fills in your pores and it looks beautiful. It far surpasses the Solid Balm. I know a lot of people enjoyed that, and maybe that's more so for oily skin, but I love this. So I really don't remember which concealers I've talked to you guys about because we were using Clé de Peau for so long. So I'm gonna run through them. I have the Pat McGrath on right now. It's in LM10. I really like this for full coverage. It doesn't hide absolutely everything. Like well, I guess nothing will actually be able to hide some concave. So, you know, as you get older or as you age, this area just gets sunken in and there's really not much you can do about it. Like, yes, you can try to correct it. I mean, it's not gonna do that much. So out of all the ones I'm showing you, this is, the Pat McGrath is the most full coverage. It's also thicker. So this is something where you don't necessarily need to let it sit before you like blend it in. Apply it, start blending it. I tend to blend from the outside in because I want the least amount of product here. So most full coverage. These two, I would say, are quite similar. The Makeup Forever Ultra HD, as well as the Smashbox Studio Skin Self-Setting. These are both self-setting? Oh, I don't even know. Am I making names up? The Makeup Forever is self-setting. The Smashbox is also self-setting. It just doesn't market itself that way. So I have Light Medium Warm Peach for the Smashbox and Shade 30 for Makeup Forever. I love both of these. These are when I just want something really quick. It covers most things and I don't have to set it with powder, is these two. The Dior Skin Correct, I have it in the shade 2N, and then the Giorgio Armani Luminous Silk Concealer in 4.5. These two are my, it is very dry and my skin is very dry and I just need to put something on for a little bit of coverage, but it's not gonna knock out any darkness, but I don't want to fight with powder and I don't want to have to prep my eye perfectly. This is where you will have a dewy under eye and you will have to set it if you don't like that look. I go back and forth between whether or not I like a dewy under eye. I know a lot of people don't. And when you see people apply a powder after applying a dewy concealer, sometimes I like the look, sometimes I don't. And it's not that one is better than the other. I just think you look younger when your under eye is dewy, right? Okay, and then more of an all-arounder is the Beauty Blender 3.25N is my shade. It's the Beauty Blender Bounce Airbrush Liquid Whip Concealer. And this to me is more like a combination of everything here. It's like an all-around concealer. It is kind of a satin, maybe leaning more matte. you have good coverage, but it doesn't look super dry. And you don't have to set it with powder, but you can, and it still looks pretty good, you know what I mean? So all around concealer is this one. This is a new discovery this year, and I'm just sharing it because I really love it. And it's the Urban Decay 24/7 Waterline. They only have one shade right now, and they just need to come out with more. I love this. It does not transfer from the top to the bottom. These glosses were released this year. The Tower 28 Milky, is it just Milky glosses? I love these. I have the shades Oat and I have the shade Cashew. Just love these so much. I prefer these way more to the jelly ones, the kind of more translucent ones. And then the Viseart in Beignet. I have worn this many times in videos, and I love it. Again, if anyone knows why it smells so good, or what this, it's like bubblegum maybe? Oh, I just love it. Charlotte Tilbury released bronzers this year. So I have the shade number 2, which I think is quite common across everyone from fair to light to even medium. And I want to pick up the next shade up. I don't know if I'm gonna get it in this sale or if I'm gonna wait for Selfridges to do like a 10% off at the end of the year, but I really wanna see the shade Tan. So, but this is so excellent in that it is very airbrushed looking, and you can build it. It's a very buildable bronzer as far as like, okay, so it's Feb and you're lighter, but you can also wear this in June or July when you start to get more tan, because it's incredibly buildable and it doesn't show your texture. The highlighter that Charlotte Tilbury released this year. So I know that Pat McGrath also released one, but at $65. This one's $55, but I also got mine with like a slight discount. This is very pretty. I showed it to you, was it last week in a vlog? I think so. It is very subtle, and it's just very subtle, but very pretty. Not subtle in like a you can't see it kind of way, but it will make your skin look healthy. The Pat McGrath powders in general. So this is light. I enjoyed light a lot. Light is basically white. And then I have Deep On today as like a bronzer blush situation. These are very interesting in that I feel like they perform like a loose powder because they are a drier texture. They're not gonna be dry on your skin. The texture itself is drier, which makes it very dusty. No matter how expensive your Japanese made brush is, when you put it in here, you're gonna get hiccup. I promise you. So in that way, if you are someone that likes loose powders and want to be able to travel with a loose powder easily, I would really recommend these. I think these perform beautifully, especially this one. I mean, I've used this one more because I can use it under my eyes, around my nose. It's a kind of a light reflecting type thing, but not in like a glowy way, in a matte way. So I really like these. The Gucci bronzers, I really love these. These are very pigmented, unlike the Charlotte Tilbury, which is light and it's buildable. These, you apply it and it's like bam, bronzer. So I have mine in the shade 2. I like this one because it has more of a cool to red undertone, and I think most of the bronzers lean warm. I don't know if there's one that's particularly neutral, but I like this one a lot. And just packaging, until you see it in person, you like don't understand exactly how beautiful and luxe this is. It has like a vintage classic luxe vibe. The Dior quads that were released, the highlighters, I have mine in the shade Pure Gold. I had swatched the peachy version for you guys. It's just too dark. The one shade in there that I really wanted to use as eyeshadow, it's just the way it looked on the eye, I did not enjoy. So I have this one. I like this one a lot. I love Baked Gelée. I feel like once you Baked Gelée a highlighter and you put that on your face, it's very hard to enjoy other powder formulas. The Fenty glosses, I already picked these up from the Fenty website when they were doing 30% off. But this is what I'm gonna do from now on. I'm only just gonna wait till the holidays and pick up the little 4-pack at a discount, because you don't need a full-size gloss. I don't know, have I gone through a gloss before? I don't really think so. And what am I thinking of getting? Actually, I'll go through my basket with you guys in a little bit too. Okay, so the Patrick Ta blushes. Yeah, this one is She's So LA. This one is Do We Know Her? Kind of a bronzy type rose and a peachy color. Love. So I need to find the peachy version of the single matte shade. Also, Patrick Ta's She's Juicy. His lip mask. This is so good. It smells If you don't like mint, then you won't like this, but I love this mint. If like my mouth could smell like this all the time, oh my God, like my breath, my actual breath. It smells so good. It's like a sweet mint. Okay, lastly, cream blushes. Wander Beauty, these duos, so good. I have the pink and the peach now because I love the formula so much. So over here is Sweet Talker, and oh, sorry, over here is Swipe. Rendezvous. I'm like reading things upside down and I can't. Also, lastly, remember that the second layer of this duo has a really beautiful clear balm that looks really good as a highlight, like actually good. Like it actually dries down to some degree and still looks beautiful. And the last one is from Kaja. This is a duo for the lips and the cheeks. And again, the Wander Beauty, also really beautiful for the lips and the cheeks. I have this one in the shade Juicy Watermelon. So you have a nude and then a like kind of brighter shade. They're both more of a sheer color. They still look really beautiful. Have I lost my light? Okay, well now it's too bright. Okay, so again, these are all my recommendations as far as newer releases. All right guys, I'm gonna go through my cart with you. Half of this stuff is maybe, but I'll let you know what is for sure. I'm gonna repurchase the Patrick Ta lip liners. I'm gonna get probably She's Proud, She's Strong. The Natasha Denona highlighter, the I Need a Nude, I don't know if I'm gonna get that. So out of the three that were released, the Natasha Denona, Charlotte Tilbury, and the Pat McGrath, I've only picked up the Charlotte Tilbury. The Natasha Denona, I'm like, I don't know, because I'm not wearing a lot of highlighter, so I don't need to pick them all up. The Pat McGrath one looks so beautiful. But at $65, I'm just kind of waiting to see how badly I want it, you know? And is it even on the Sephora website yet? I don't know. So Natasha Denona and Pat McGrath highlighter are like maybes. I want to try the Makeup Forever stick foundation because I really love that powder. So I'm gonna see about that. If the Sol de Janeiro hand sanitizer is available, I'll probably grab that. Oh, the Rare Beauty concealer brush. It's getting a lot of love. I would also like to love it. The Kosas Chemistry AHA Serum Deodorant, it looks like it's in a tube and there's a roller ball on it, and that looks very interesting to me. Okay, the Fenty Beauty, the trio with the cream blush, the diamond balm, and the lip gloss, all in the shade Fenty Glow. So I'm pretty excited for that because the gloss, of course, we all love. I love the diamond balms. Is it balms? Balm. Anyway, love that product. So the fact that it's coming out in that shade was beautiful. And then there's a cream blush. So the blush and the gloss are full size. So I'm grabbing that. Kat Von D has released some stuff. Sorry. Ooh, am I getting a package? I hear the truck. Soda Sumo. So Kat Von D has released these Dazzle Stick eyeshadows in a stick. But the reviews are already up on Sephora and they're amazing. I'm gonna get a single like Patrick Ta blush, like not the duo, one of the just regular powder blushes. Okay, question for you guys. Makeup by Mario. I've picked up nothing from his release yet. Is there anything that you guys have tried that is really amazing? Because part of it was me being overwhelmed. There's just so much and I was like, I don't even know. And then the reviews have been quite mixed that I've seen. So if there's something there that you think I would love, let me know. I'm gonna repurchase the Sephora Melting Lip Clicks. I've gone through so many of those, like I have empties. The Natasha Denona, that newest palette with the trichromes, that will be released, I think, November 3rd. So when that goes up on the site, I'm gonna grab that. I didn't grab the Glam because, guys, I don't wear cool tones. Like I try to wear cool tones, it just doesn't work out well. Although today's look looks kind of cool. It's kind of like a shifty shade. What did I use today? Oh, these are all Sydney Grace eyeshadows. The Tatcha Kissu lip mask, I'm gonna grab that. Kaja has a set of 4 little items. There's a lip product, the blush, a highlight, and a little, those bento eyeshadows. So that kit's like $39. So with the discount, it'll be great for 4 products. Oh, this is out of stock again. The Replica by the Fireplace candle. I love the perfume. And this candle has gone in and out of stock. And I've had this like cart building for like a week. And again, if you haven't paid attention to any other video, there's a lot of construction going on here. On top of that, we have a lot of lawn care happening lately as well. Probably the fall cleanups are starting because leaves are changing, leaves are falling, stuff like that. Anyway, yes, this candle, also I've never bought it before, so if it's good, let me know. Actually, I think I bought it for Andrew. So I want one. It looks good. I love the scent, so want that. What else? I think that's it. That's like everything in my cart. So let me know what you guys are for sure getting, and then give me ideas regarding the Makeup by Mario. And do I need the Natasha highlighter or the Pat McGrath? Like, is it amazing? I will link my Pinterest board down below. Please go check it out, and I will see you tomorrow in tomorrow's vlog. Bye.